Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the World Elder Abuse Awareness webinar brought to you by the Los Angeles County Aging and Disabilities Department. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be here with us. Welcome to our Elder Abuse Awareness Day webinar brought to you by the Los Angeles County Aging and Disabilities Department. My name is Cindy Lopez Paz. I'm a Human Services Administrator with the LA Found program, and it is my pleasure to be your moderator. Thank you for joining us today as we recognize World Elder Abuse Day 2025. Without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Dr. Laura Trejo, Los Angeles County Aging and Disabilities Director. Dr. Trejo.
Good afternoon, Cynthia. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for being here. It is a pleasure to welcome you to this important webinar in recognition of World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Each year, on June 15th, communities around the world come together to shine a light on a hidden crisis: elder abuse, neglect, and exploitation. This day of increasing awareness was established by the United Nations and the World Health Organization to remind us that elder abuse is not only a public health concern, it's a human rights issue. Here in Los Angeles County, we believe that dignity doesn't retire. That's why our department is committed to raising awareness, expanding resources, and empowering all of us in our communities to recognize and prevent elder abuse. As Maya Angelou said, we know better when we do better. And that's exactly what today is about, knowing better so we can protect those who have given so much to all of us. Throughout this webinar, you will hear from leaders across our department branches, all the way from Adult Protective Services, Area Agency on Aging, our Disabilities branch, who will be sharing with you their perspective on elder abuse and how we work to prevent it. In honor of World Elder Abuse Awareness, we are hosting outreach events all month, leading countywide engagement across 88 cities in our region, collaborating with community partners like law enforcement and others, banks, everybody that works with older adults in our community. We want to reach out to them. And we're also helping to organize a county board proclamation recognizing June 15th as World Elder Abuse Awareness. We invite you on June 15th to put on purple to help us spread the message that elder abuse is preventable and that we all have a role to play. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your commitment, your compassion, and for joining us today. It is an opportunity for all of us to work together to build better, more inclusive communities and to make Los Angeles a great place for every generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Trejo, for your leadership, for your advocacy, and most importantly, for your support of the aging and disabilities field, our department, and our most vulnerable populations. Now, before we get started with the program and hear from our great speakers, I want to take a moment to share some background about World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, WEAAD as it's known, was launched in June 15, 2006 by the International Network of Prevention of Elder Abuse and the World Health Organization at the United Nations. WEAAD supports the United Nations International Plan of Action, which recognizes the importance of addressing elder abuse as a public health and a human rights issue. But now, what is considered elder abuse? Elder abuse refers to any deliberate, intentional, or negligent action by a caregiver or another individual that causes harm or serious harm to an older adult. Many victims of abuse are older adults who are frail and vulnerable. These individuals cannot care for themselves and rely on others to meet their basic needs. Abusers can be both women and men and may include family members, friends, and others whom the victim may trust. Victims of financial abuse face an estimated annual loss of over $36.5 billion. And in 2024, California received approximately 294,000 reports of elder independent abuse. That is staggering. But what are some of the types of abuse? These include neglect and abandonment, the failure of a caregiver to provide essential needs to a individuals, such as food, shelter, health, care, protection of a vulnerable elder. Also, physical abuse, which is the infliction of physical pain or injury on an older adult. This could be slapping, bruising, physical or any chemical restraints. Self-neglect, which is when an individual fails to carry out essential self-care tasks, risking their health and safety. Sexual abuse, which is any non-consensual sexual contact, regardless of whatever the circumstances may be. Financial, which is the illegal taking, misuse, or concealment of a senior's funds, property, or assets for someone else's benefit. A psychological abuse, which is the act of inflicting mental pain or anguish or distress on an elder through verbal or nonverbal actions, such as humiliating, intimidating, and threatening them. So, how can we prevent abuse? Well, we can all play a part in that. Family members and caregivers can help prevent it by staying connected with their loved ones, being vigilant for signs of abuse, and reporting any suspected cases to the appropriate authorities. Also, it is important to check in with our older adults as it is they face a lot of times isolation. So it's important to check in on them, and especially those that may have few friends and family members. And by prioritizing the prevention of elder abuse, we can help ensure the safety and well-being of older adults. Now, I want to take a moment for us to watch this very short video from the California Department of Social Services.
Hey, Dad. The pharmacy called. Sounds like you still haven't picked up your heart medication. Are you all right?
Hey, Frank, it's Sally. I got your voicemail earlier. So your nephew asked you for another loan?
Hey, this is your neighbor, Mike. Looks like you're pretty bruised up. Your caregiver said you fell. Is that right?
Yes, this is Julie from the doctor's office. I'm sorry, it seems you missed another appointment today. Are you having trouble getting a ride?
It's on all of us to prevent and address abuse, neglect, self-neglect, and exploitation. Know the signs of abuse and who to contact. Essential community services are available to help. Adult Protective Services is a pillar in our community, ensuring confidentiality and respecting the rights of every adult. Don't let your call go unanswered. Call APS or visit our website to learn more.
Thank you. We encourage all individuals to know about or suspect abuse to report it. Make sure that you call 911, local enforcement, or adult protective services. Our call of action also is to increase efforts to raise public awareness on abuse, and then advocate for legislation regarding the prosecution, funding, outreach, etc. There are several county elder abuse resources that includes Adult Protective Services, law enforcement, the district attorney, the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs, departments of mental health, the Genesis program with the Office of the Public Guardian, the Department of Health Services, and the Centers of Excellence. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Patrick Anyawaki, Human Services Administrator 2 for the Adult Protective Services Line Operations Branch.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Cynthia, and thank you, Dr. Trejo, for being here with us. Thank you to every one of you that joined us today. I want to give a special thanks to all our APS team for the amazing work that you do in the field protecting older adults. It is important to note that elder abuse is a crime, and it must be treated as a crime. I think that we must use the opportunity that Elder Abuse Awareness Day, present to shine the light. And when we do that, we know that more people tend to report elder abuse that they see occurring in the community. Research continues to show that elder abuse is underreported. Only one out of every 6 elder abuse is reported. And so the wonderful thing that is going to happen in this month after we celebrate, after we, on this day is that many people will come forth to report elder abuse, and that is definitely going to increase our numbers. The Adult Protective Services is charged with the responsibility of investigating all reports of abuse, neglect, and exploitation of elders and dependent adult abuse. And every month, as you will see in these numbers, every month we receive over 4,900 to 6,500 reports in our system. That number is high, but it could be higher if all abuse that are occurring in the community, is reported. Just looking at our comparing the last 2 fiscal years in terms of the cases or reports coming into our system. In fiscal year 23-24, we received 68,000 plus reports. And out of those, 48,557 of them were investigated by the Adult Protective Services program. And 40,870 of those were elders, and 7,687 turned out to be dependent adults. And if you look at the fiscal year 2024-25, which is the current fiscal year that we are in, all the way to May 23rd, we have so far received 63,979 reports. And out of those, we have 45,138 that have turned out to be become investigations. 36,310 are elders, and 63,006 are dependent adults. These numbers will continue to grow, will continue to increase, but we need to do more to ensure that we report every elder abuse occurring in the community. Next slide. So the question you might be asking, what does the APS social worker do? The first line of action for every report that comes into our system, it is our responsibility to handle every case that comes into our system. And the first thing that our social worker do when they receive that case is to investigate. We investigate every allegation. And the first thing in that process is making sure that we have a face-to-face contact with the client, that we interview the suspected abuser, that we talk to family members, that we talk to other responsible parties that will help us to address the issue, to understand exactly what has happened. Someone that may have witnessed something, and someone who can understand, help us to understand what is going on and how we can better assist the client. The next thing that we do in the process will be to assess the situation. The social workers conduct a comprehensive assessment of the client's situation, the circumstances that the clients are facing, to identify the risk factors, which might include understanding their functional ability, the abilities to function, their mental health, the environment that they live in, the medical care that they need, what support system that they have in place, and what their financial situation may look like. All of this help us to have a better understanding, have a better plan of care to address the client's problem. The next thing will be to develop a service plan. The service plan basically include all the intervention plan, the strategies that we need to take to ensure that we address the concerns that are presented in that report, such as connecting the client with services in the community, connecting with law enforcement to ensure that all abuse cases are being investigated to the letter of the law. Addressing any mental health issue, referring them to mental health, so the Genesis program, accessing other services in the community, the DPSS program, such as the Income Supportive Services program, to access care providers, and other support programs or systems that we might need to put in place to ensure that we're addressing the problem presented to us. We reassess that case every month, every 30 days. We're required to do additional home visit as long as the case remains open. And when we do that, we reassess to ensure that we have fully addressed the risk factors, and if the abuse is continuing, and if it is continuing, that we continue to provide more services for the client. Bringing the case to closure would mean that we would have addressed the issues. We would have eliminated the risk factors. We would have basically removed the client from the endangerment zone, and that the client is stabilized. We do not close a case until it is absolutely safe to do so. And I call it safety ensured, safety first before closure. And that is what our social workers do before we close any case. In addition to investigating reports of elder and dependent adult abuse, we also respond to natural disasters that occur from time to time, including fire, floods, heat waves, cold advisories, earthquakes, power outages. And so when these disasters occur, we contact every one of our clients to make sure that they're safe, especially those of them that might be in the disaster zone. Next slide. So here are some of the services that APS social workers provide to our APS clients. Home delivered meals, very critical. We want to make sure that we're addressing nutritional issues with our clients. Family care, caregiver, ensuring that they have the care provider, the care support that they need at home so that they can continue to live in their homes. In-home supportive services are very critical. This ensures that our older adults can stay at home, can live in their home independently without having to be placed in a nursing home or other community care facilities. Most of our clients would love to stay in their home, and if they have the adequate care support, it will be the best thing for them. Emergency food vouchers is part of our effort to continue to address their nutritional needs. Transportation services, ensuring that our clients are able to leave their home to, keep their medical appointments or even do grocery shopping or meet up with family and friends, for social engagements. Mental health evaluations, health insurance counseling and advocacy, legal assistance, and other tangible support services. These are many of the services that our APS social workers provide to our APS clients. Next. That'll be it for me. Thank you so much again for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Iñaki. Now, I want you to help me welcome our next speaker, Juan Carlos Martinez. He's a Human Services Administrator for the Disability Services and Supports Branch. Juan Carlos.
Thank you, Cindy. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today to talk a little bit more about APS program and planning. APS social workers does a lot of hard work out there in the community, and APS program and planning is able to provide different services in support to our APS clients. Of course, one is developing policies and business procedures to make sure that we comply with all the county, state, federal mandates. Another way that we support our APS social workers is to manage the integrated care services, where we have contracted with community-based organizations to provide a wide range of social services to APS clients to ensure that they age in place, to ensure that they maintain their independence by accessing resources in healthcare, nutrition, fitness, and housing. Another way that we support our APS social workers is that we have the APS Center of Excellence, where a multidisciplinary team comes together to do in-depth analysis of particular cases so that they could receive a consultation, recommendations on how to handle such cases and provide a better service to those hard and difficult cases that comes across APS. We also develop our capacity by providing training to APS social workers and staff. This is to provide them the knowledge, the information, the skills necessary to do the everyday activities as they are addressing the alleged abuse out there in the community. Another way that we support APS is that we are able to provide records requests according to the mandate and laws to ensure the privacy of our clients. And of course, as our social workers go out there to investigate alleged abuse, they might come across clients who are in need of emergency food. So they do provide emergency food vouchers. And that's another program that APS program planning manage and support to the APS social workers. And this is all I have at this moment, and I'll be available for any questions at the end of the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juan Carlos, for taking the time to be with us today and to talk about these very essential services. Now, I'm delighted to introduce our third speaker for today, Michael Gavigan. He's a Human Services Administrator 1 for the Area Agency on Aging branch.
Thank you, Cynthia. My name is Michael Gavigan. I am a Human Services Administrator with the Area Agency on Aging program. Some brief information on my career with Los Angeles County. It actually started out in Adult Protective Services. I was an APS social worker. I had a caseload, a total caseload of about 1,000 crisis intervention cases. Eventually moved on to supervise an APS unit in central intake and some other specialized programs. So I can definitely appreciate and I want to thank the APS for the great work that they do. Very challenging, very rewarding, and much needed. So thank you to APS. A little unlike Adult Protective Services, Area Agency Aging Program is not a direct service, so to speak. We oversee contractors that provide services to clients in the County of Los Angeles. This first slide is a little bit of information on who we are and what we do. You might hear in the news things about Older Americans Act. That is a very key element to be aware of because anytime Older Americans Act is reauthorized, that means area agency aging programs can continue because it is essentially federally funded under the Older Americans Act in 1973. Then the states are divided into regions. So the state of California currently has 33 planning and service areas or PSAs. Each PSA is served by its own AAA. Currently, the County of Los Angeles is the only county that has two PSAs. Now, what that means is County of Los Angeles AAA serves the territory in the unincorporated areas of Los Angeles County, and our partner agency, the City of Los Angeles PSA 25, serves the rest of the Los Angeles County, which would be the City of Los Angeles. So it's a little different from APS, where we have currently there are two PSAs that provide these services. However, the services are the same and consistent whether you live in the City of Los Angeles or outside of the City of Los Angeles. A little more information on who we are and what we do with AAA program. Our commitment is to help older adults age in place with dignity and independence. Our goal is also to ensure the safety and well-being of older adults that reside in long-term care facilities. This is accomplished through careful planning, developing, also coordinating and delivering the services to our clients. Next slide, please. This is just a brief summary of the programs that we oversee, and I'll read through these, but more information on these services is on our AD public-facing website, and I do believe I have a link to that I will hopefully be able to post in the chat a little bit later. But nonetheless, all the programs that you see listed on this slide are on the AD website, and there's a lot more information that would be very helpful to everyone if you view that information on the website. But again, these services we provide are disease prevention and health promotion. We've also previously mentioned programs like elderly nutrition programs, and that could be either in a group setting or home delivered meals to clients. We also support a family caregiver support program. We also mentioned health insurance counseling programs, legal assistance as well. Also linkages program and the long-term care ombudsman program, which is essentially the adult protective services of skilled nursing facilities. They have oversight for investigating allegations of abuse in nursing facilities in Los Angeles County. We also have a senior community service employment training program, otherwise known as Title V. Also, we have a supportive services program, and we obviously provide information and assistance at outreach events throughout the county as well. Next slide, please. This is some more information on who we are, what we do, and what our network of service providers or contractors looks like. Essentially, in some of the programs, particularly the congregate meals programs, those are provided by multiple service providers or contractors. Other services like health insurance counseling or disease prevention, those are provided by one single contractor throughout the County of Los Angeles in the region that we serve. But this is just basically a map and a breakdown of the territories that we cover in the County of Los Angeles. Next slide, please. Part of the AAA is also the Advisory Council, otherwise known as Los Angeles County Commission on Aging. The idea behind LACOA is to provide advocacy. This increases the Board of Supervisors' awareness of issues, conditions, and needs that face older adults in the community. LACOA also provides recommendations for remedying adverse conditions in the community as well. We mentioned that they're an advisory council who advises the AAA on our programs to develop and coordinate community-based systems of services for all older adults in our territory. Also, there were a few ordinance changes. For board motion of August 4, 2020, this adjusted the size of the LACOA commission from 50 to 25. And I would like to thank, we have a few LACOA commissioners that are participating as attendees in today's presentation, particularly Commissioner Meltzer And Commissioner Schmitz, we thank you for your advocacy and your advisory and your serving on the LACOA Commission. So thank you for attending and thank you for being a part of the commission. And I believe that is the last slide that I have. As mentioned, I will post the public-facing AD website that has a lot more information on AAA programs in the chat. And if there's any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me and I can point you in the right direction when it comes to AAA services. So thank you to everyone for the opportunity to present. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you so much, Michael, for taking the time to talk about all of the Area Agency on Aging services that the department provides. And now I am happy to provide an overview of what the Disability Services and Support Branch does. So first, we're going to start with the LA Found program, which is the program that I administer. It's a county-wide initiative that was launched in 2018 to help families and caregivers of those that are impacted by Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, and other cognitive impairments who are prone to wander. The initiative really focuses on some key strategic areas. One of them is enhanced coordination, which means we're trying to improve the way that law enforcement, county departments, we all deal with wandering situations of these very vulnerable individuals and figuring out ways in which we can ensure that they are being addressed properly. Also, technology solutions, and that is the use of the OraCare or Project Lifesaver devices. One is a GPS, the other one is a radio frequency device to help keep individuals safe should they wander. A big part of our work is prevention, education, and training. So we're out in the community, we do webinars, we do outreach events, we've done seminars, we've done conferences, really with the aim of educating Los Angeles County residents and community-based organizations and nonprofits and other county departments really on what we do and the essential part of all of this, which is trying to ensure that there's some measures of wandering prevention at home. And lastly, social engagement. And that is us, leveraging our resources and making sure that we're out there on social media, providing information and resources about any available resources that families and caregivers may benefit as a result of having to deal with the situation of a loved one wandering away. Next slide. So for more information, or if you're interested for us to do a presentation for your team or organization, you can visit our website. It's listed here. You can scan our QR code. We also, probably one of the best ways to reach out would be to email us directly at lafound@ad.lacounty.gov. That allows us to help you and address any questions that an individual who may be potentially eligible for our program may have. We also have an online application portal that you can submit your application and upload any necessary documents to. And our goal, and we have a toll-free number as well that you can call, and it's answered by 211. And then if there's any specific areas that they're not able to address, that gets routed to our unit. We really work closely with each applicant when they're unable to complete an application. We have ways of sending a paper application through the regular mail or even email, and we can help our clients complete their applications as well. You can also stop by our office with an appointment for any issues that you may have regarding your application or your device if you are participating in our program or need any troubleshooting. We're here to help. Now I'll be talking about the New Freedom program. And the New Freedom program really provides transportation services throughout LA County to adults that are 65 years or older with disabilities. There's two programs that are within the New Freedom Transportation. The first one is the New Freedom Taxi Cab Services Program. And that program provides services to eligible clients who can reserve services through the assistance of a mobility manager. Clients that do qualify for this program get a maximum of 4 one-way trips totaling 40 miles each month at no cost to them. And all the rides need to originate and end in Los Angeles County. The second program is a volunteer driver mileage reimbursement program. And that one is a client-centered transportation program that gives participants an opportunity to select one or two or more volunteer drivers to meet their transportation needs. And the drivers can be selected from a wide range of individuals. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, a caregiver, or a neighbor. So for more information, we do have our email, newfreedom@ab.lacounty.gov. You can also visit the Los Angeles County Aging and Disabilities website, and we'll make sure to drop off any links into the chat so that you are able to connect. Also, you can direct any questions to our toll-free number as well. Next slide. Another one of the key areas of the disability branch and supports, it's our information and assistance service. And that is, it provides resources and referrals either through phone or by email to members of the public to really connect them with the services available in their communities. And this is for, it could be for older adults, for people with disabilities, or caregivers, as well as others. We also respond to requests from the Board of Supervisors to assist constituents who have contacted them regarding specific services that they need, and for us to connect them with available resources in the community. And then our INA team, our small but very mighty team, also represents the department at outreach events throughout LA County, really helping raise awareness about our department, about our services, and also older independent adult abuse in general. Next slide. Thank you. So the Los Angeles County Commission on Disabilities, this is a very key group that is part of our department, and the LACCOD, the Los Angeles County Commission on Disabilities, advises the Board of Supervisors on a wide range of issues that affect the lives of people with disabilities, taking action to really achieve a barrier-free county where people with disabilities have equal access to programs and services. The commission focuses on employment, education, diversity, health, housing, transportation, access, and recreation. And they also monitor the quality of municipal services. They evaluate policy and recommend improvements to other changes to existing laws. They're a wonderful group that really takes their role very seriously and advocates very persistently with all of our departments and community at large. Next slide. Okay, so I want to thank all of our speakers, and I'm sure that we have plenty of questions from our audience. We appreciate everybody who may have used the chat feature, the Q&A feature, to send those questions. So now let's see if we have any questions. Team?
If you have any questions, please go ahead, or you can go ahead and type in the chat. And so I see one hand raised. Let me go ahead and find you. I think it was Reina.
In the meantime, while we get ready to have Reina ask her question, maybe I can ask a couple of questions of the panelists. Patrick, what would be the most effective way for people to submit an APS referral should they see that there's a suspicion of elder abuse or self-neglect?
Very good question. We have two ways that you can submit a report to APS. I think the easiest and most quickest way would be to call the 211. We have the elder abuse hotline, which we should provide on the chat here. But that elder abuse hotline is actually managed by 211. So if you call 211, the 211 team will be able to take your report right away and get it to us in a timely manner. The other way that you can submit a report is via our web portal, our online intake link. We should be able to provide that link to Cynthia, hopefully. Anyone can log into that web portal, and it just allows you to answer a few questions, provide some information, and we'll be able to get it and process it in a timely manner as well. So those are the two ways that you can submit a report to APS.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Are we ready for that question?
Someone did ask if we would be able to send out the slides after the presentation as well as a recording. I believe we will be. I do see Carrie C2. Let me go ahead and unmute you.
Thank you. This is Carrie calling from Chinatown Service Center. And Valerie, I want to ask the best practice in the cases potential self-neglect that we observe. We've been trying to contact the family member of the older adult that we identified in the case of self-neglect. And we received some response from the son of this senior. And it is on and off. It wasn't been very successful. And I want to ask Patrick, when will be the time that we take action to call 211 or submit a report on the portal?
Hi, Carrie. Thank you. That's a very good question. I think you identified the self-neglect issue here, and I would think and thank you for making the effort to reach the family member to see what you can do to help this client. But since you have not been successful in reaching a family member, I would recommend that you make a report right away so that we can assist in that process. You can call our 211 and make that report, or go online using our web portal. But I think now is the time to make that report so that we can jump in. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I see that we have a question in the question and answer portion. And any of the speakers, feel free to jump in to try and address it. I'm going to read it. It says, as a mandated reporter, I struggle with self-neglect when an individual is choosing not to address concerns, for example, bathing. I recognize that poverty is severely impacting needs. Any feedback?
Good question. Good question. As a mandated reporter, and you are probably the only person that is having contact with the client, so you understand that this client is not bathing. There might be some other neglect issues going on at home that we're not aware of. So, as a mandated reporter, I think that it will be the best thing to do to make a report so that we can try to reach this client to see how we can help and see what other things that might be going on in the house that you may not be aware of. But to be on the safe side, I would strongly recommend that you make a report to our system so that we can see how we can support this client.
Thank you so much, Patrick. I wanted to ask, Michael, can you talk a little bit about the nutrition programs that are available through the Area Agency on Aging?
Absolutely. Thank you, Cynthia. Yes, we do have nutrition programs both in group settings, otherwise known as congregate meals. Most of those take place at a lot of our AD senior centers and some other locations throughout the county as well. There is no fee for the meals. The meals are free. Contributions and donations are welcome, but they are not required. Any of that financial any donations find their way back into the program as well. But nonetheless, there are two different types of nutrition programs that we oversee. One, again, is the congregate meal sites that are offered in group settings at senior centers. There's also a home delivered meals program for people that are somewhat restricted to their homes and their residences. So that way we make sure that anyone that is looking to receive a meal can do so, whether that be in a group setting or through a home delivered meals program. I should also clarify too that I mentioned there are two PSAs, PSA 25, which is City of Los Angeles, and PSA 19, which is County of Los Angeles. Both the city and the county provide those services, those nutrition programs consistently. So the programs are the same, the eligibility requirements are the same, and to make a referral or to inquire about receiving those meals or having some of those meals at the congregate meal sites, we recommend that people call 1-800-510-2020. That way, based on the address of the client, they'll be routed to the appropriate agency or PSA in order to apply for those meals programs. So, thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And since I have you, I wanted to ask, can you tell us a little bit about the Family Caregiver Support Program?
Yes, these are programs, particularly there's sometimes a need for respite in the home as well. So you might have a caregiver in a home situation that might need some respite and a break from providing that care. We can supplement that as well. There are also some other smaller purchases services that we can do. In addition to, this brings up another good point as well, in addition to FCSP, or Family Caregiver Support, there is the Disease Prevention Health Promotion Program. Those are programs that provide instruction on how to manage chronic physical conditions, how to handle medications. Those can also be conducted in a group setting or individually with clients as well. So there's a lot of different types of outreach and services that we had to provide support at home for seniors to help them remain safe in their homes and live well in the County of Los Angeles.
Thank you, Michael. Do we have any other questions in the chat or the Q&A team?
I do not see any other questions or hands raised at the moment. Does anyone, we're going to ask just everyone to go ahead and make sure before we close out to get those questions in, you guys. Any opportunity to ask questions on LA Found, the new Freedom Program, our Disabilities Commission, anything you guys want to ask, our panelists are here to answer. Otherwise, we are happy to direct any questions afterwards, and we'll be sending out the slides as well as the recording to all of our participants, okay? Make sure that you guys are well taken care of.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Christina. I guess we can go ahead and wrap it up and give our audience a couple of minutes back of their time. I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their busy day to learn about the services that the Los Angeles County Aging and Disability Department provides in our efforts really to increase awareness of elder abuse. I really hope that you gained some valuable information about our department and the importance of raising awareness about World Elder Abuse Day. Remember to wear your purple, which is the official color of WEAAD, and take some time to learn about the steps you can take to prevent elder abuse and abuse against individuals with disabilities. I want to take this opportunity to thank our Aging and Disabilities Director, Dr. Laura Trejo, our speakers, Dr. Patrick Ayanwalki, Juan Carlos Martinez, Michael Gavigan, and also for allowing me the opportunity to be your host and your speaker today. I also want to give and I want to recognize very heartfelt special thanks to our social workers. They're the ones that are out there day in and day out investigating allegations of elder independent abuse. They do a remarkable job out in the community, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the great work that they do day in and day out. So I want to say thank you. I also want to thank the rest of our Aging and Disabilities team for the commitment to raise awareness about elder abuse, and specifically my team, Christina and Hua, for their valuable help in putting together today's webinar, as well as the rest of the division. And if you would like to learn more about our programs or apply for services, you can go to www.ad.lacounty.gov. And like Christina mentioned, we'll be sending a copy of the slides, any appropriate links, and also a copy of the recorded webinar. You can always reach out to us if you have any interest of having a presentation in any of our programs as well. You can call us or send us an email, and we'll be more than happy to accommodate you. And with that, I wrap it up. Thank you all for your time and have a great day.